Evening, everyone. I hope you all had a good week. It's amazing how time flies. So, can we do our sound check? So, let me know if you can hear me before we begin. I will check your messages. Hi, Stefan and Donald and Bruno and Denise, Verpy, Angela, everyone. I have to scroll up to see who else is here. Can anyone tell me if you hear me, please? Good. Thanks, Jenny. Let's begin. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. All right. What I want to talk about tonight is another level of the importance of color. Last week, and on other days, we've talked about the healing aspects of colors. But yes, Bruno, the eye is getting better. I still am not allowed to drive because in long distance and going in a car, it goes very fast and I'm seeing double really fast. So I'm trying to be patient, but at least I can talk to you and I can type and I'm starting to be able to paint. So, Donald, I was wondering how your surgery went. How are you feeling today? Because it was on the 13th, 2 days ago. You're home? Are you? Let me know. I was thinking of you on the 13th. So, back to the importance of color. And we talked about healing color, all the colors and things last week specifically. And have you ever thought about how does color begin? How does it happen? And what I've discovered a long time ago is that actually the color you see is a reflection of the light upon the object. So if you see white, it reflects everything away from it. And black absorbs it all. And then if you have green, what you're seeing is the reflection of light on the leaves. But it's not actually the color of the leaves. So in all healing modes and what you're wearing, pardon me. Hi, Drew, welcome. It's sort of, you're adding an extra radiation reflection of light, color, into your aura. So you also radiated emotion. So if you radiate joy, that's what people are seeing, is the joy. Doesn't necessarily see all the stuff that's going on in the subconscious, but some clairvoyance can see that in people. And in fact, there's a lot of emotions and things and thoughts and what you gather. It's like we gather so much stuff and it lands up in the aura and the subconscious. And some clairvoyants see actually little tiny shapes and things that represent certain issues of what you've gathered. Hi, Paola from Venezia, one of my favorite cities. Welcome. I love Venice, I have to say. I've been there lots of times. Anyway, what's interesting is when you start to paint color, that is, if I use oils, because as I've said before, there's opaque colors and translucent colors and transparent colors, and they all allow a certain light to travel through. The opaques actually reflect it, so that you're getting different dimensions of color, particularly if you're going, like if say with green, you see the reflection of light on the leaves or the grass, and you see green. But there's all the other colors are there at the same time. And so when you're painting, when you paint green or blue or whatever color it is, particularly if you're painting with oils, with those translucent, transparent colors, the light will travel through, but you're also getting a dimensional aspect more of what the reflected color is on the opaque level. Bruno, you do see Laura Lee behind me, and the cat is Noi Noi, Alice Gilmore's cat. And he's a very, very special cat. I love him dearly. So if we come back to the creative aspect of something, I've been trained to not identify with only the physical world. So if you use acrylics, they're just reflecting color back. You still get a dimensional aspect of it, but it's not the same as painting glazes with oils of all the different qualities of what the colors can be. So it's there was something I wanted to tell you, but there are two doves kissing each other outside my window. Oh my goodness. Love is in my garden. How sweet is that? Okay, coming back to what we're supposed to be talking about. Life is multidimensional. We've often talked about that. And so you have the physical aspect, which in my technique, the opaque colors, are representative of the physical aspect of what we are in the world that we can see. And then the translucent starts to acknowledge that we're more than that. We're more than this physical body. We have emotions and we have thoughts. And as we go further into the transparent colors, you're going closer and closer to the holistic aspect of what we truly are, where all the great stuff is within us, the love and the joy and the just everything. Even wisdom is there. And it's the highest of being human, if you can touch that space and bring it to earth. So there's something else that I want to share with you. What color has a significance on a spiritual path? Someone who meditates and is more conscious about evolving and touching that place I was just talking about. That is there all the time. Life is just totally there, and the basic process of reflection and giving away something from the wholeness of what we are is a normal life process. So what I want to show you today and talk about is particularly from a point of view, if you're a sannyasi, a Buddhist, even a Christian, it doesn't really matter if you were on a spiritual process. And what happens, but particularly in India, and they wear white. Have you seen them wearing white? And a lot of spiritual events, alternative events, people wear white. And the reason why is that when you're on a more spiritual path, you don't want to absorb so much from everything around you. So if you wear white, it reflects everything off, so that your time within your spiritual path and quest is within you. I mean, the pure aesthetic people, particularly in India, maybe not now, they don't want to wear anything. They just want to be with themselves, and in some places society doesn't accept that, so they wear a loincloth, so they're a little bit more acceptable in amongst the cities and places. But ultimately it's the white. Within the healing aspect of what I was trained to work with, is white was purity. But now I see more and more how it allows you the safety, the secret of being you. And you can be amongst people, because we need to be amongst people. Unless you're sold to Christ that you have to be, a silent monk. And there are those, and that's fine. But if your spiritual path takes you into the world, then wearing white really helps, so that you can be there, greet people, smile, even hug, though some spiritual gurus don't allow you to do that. For the same reason, they can see what healing is necessary, they can radiate what's necessary, but they don't necessarily have to take it on. So if you're a really sensitive empath, you might consider wearing white more until you learn to stabilize and not absorb. And it's there's so many wonderful aspects to all this. We are such multi-dimensional beings. It's incredible. I don't think I could ever get bored. Though it was challenging not to see properly. And in a funny way, I was seeing a lot of things double. Instead of one angel, I saw two. And the hard part was when I was being driven to various places, and there were just three, what's the word? Lanes. One was coming at me, and one was over there, and one I was in. Hi, Sarah. Welcome from Argentina. I have not been there yet. I had the grace to know one of your wonderful, blessed women that taught yoga, Indra Davies. She lived there, though she eventually went back to India and passed over there. But she was a very special person. She taught yoga to John F. Kennedy and Gloria Swanson, and she just loved Argentina. No worries, Yvonne. Welcome. I would suggest listening to the replay, because we were talking about different levels of color that I haven't spoke about before. So if we go back to the more conscious spiritual path of how certain colors are worn and why, particularly in India, it's let me go to my next slide. So we've spoke about white, but you might have seen that a lot of monks wear yellow or an ochre or an orange. And apparently one of their gurus a long time ago, I think his name was Gautama, he wanted to create an army, a spiritual army, insofar as he created something that was, he would fix a person's life into being a monk by telling them, advising them to wear yellow. So the point of the yellow is to stabilize you. So if you feel not too stable, it might be wise for you to wear those colors, particularly yellow. Now, when they started to get more advanced, because he made it so fundamental what it was to be a monk, and just to focus on being stable, that they would then advance through their commitment, and he would then give them further exercises to do, techniques, because the yellow was only a matter of being stable. They had no principles they followed except that. And then when they didn't need enlightenment, they just had to be stable. They didn't have to go for realization. But if they did it long enough, they committed, then he would give them extra practices for enlightenment, for realization, and that was through the Ajna Center. So that Ajna Center is known to be the color of orange. So they would wear orange. And then after he passed over, they had a particular technique that they wanted to share with disciples that were more committed, but it turned out that everyone was wearing yellow and orange. So they decided that they would wear maroon, so that they could be, you'd see a monk in maroon and you'd know that he had advanced principles that they would want to know and experience. But of course then there's also the color of red in India. I haven't put up any red, but I think you know what that is. And the thing about it is that it comes back to the feminine aspect, the feminine quality is to do with flowering. And most women feel they're a flower, but they don't know how to radiate that beautiful part. We're so full of different insecurities and trying to be something different. Even in a spiritual path, we're trying. And I don't know if you notice, but if you put on red lipstick or you wear a red dress, you are noticeable. You are very vibrant, even if you're not vibrant. The problem is if you were wearing red all the time, eventually it probably would touch you and you'd become vibrant, but it could equally burn you out. So it's always coming back to the individual inner processes of using color. So is there anything anybody wants to say or share with me? I'm going to look at your messages. So far, you're all just saying hi. So maybe we should do our weekly meditation journey. I will give you a few more minutes. Have I frozen? Oh no. Hang on a minute. Stefan, that is lovely. Rudolf Steiner said a lot about red and how to use it, because you have to be careful of the irritation factor with it. Can you tell me if I've frozen, somebody? Because it looks like it. Hello, Ginger Gilmore. You have frozen. What do I do? I'm not frozen on Oh, good. Well, it looks like I am. So I don't want to do a meditation if you guys aren't there. No, you're not frozen. So why is it showing up as live video? Okay. Well, I will just trust the universe in that you guys can see me, and definitely not frozen for Jenny. Okay, I'm going to put up the image that I have found, and I adore it, coming through in a second. Thank you all for telling me. Look at that image. I just think it's so full of angelic light and love and everything that we are within us, the eternal being, that we're all working at getting closer and closer to touching and radiating, as we say. So, let us sit quietly, or lie down if you need be. And focus on the image of the angel wings and the light before you, and the purple that takes you into the eternal aspect of who you are. And feel the protection of the wings and the love, the nurturing deep within your heart. And on a breath, close your eyes and remember that light and take it deeply within. Allow it to touch your heart. So breathe in the light into your heart and release. Breathe in, hold it and release. Breathe the light and the protection into your heart and release. Once again, open your eyes and connect with the image. And with your eyes open, breathe in the light to your heart again and hold it there. It's precious. It is you. You are precious, full of love and compassion and security and stability, for your soul never goes away. Close your eyes and on the breath take the light into your heart and hold it there just for a moment and release. Breathe the light and hold it and release. Once more, breathe in the light and hold it and release. Now I would like you to take that light and the quality of the joy and the love and the stability and the protection and security, and allow it to flow throughout your whole body. And fill your head and relax the muscles. Fill it with this light. And take it to your eyes and your nose and your ear and your chin and your neck. And breathe in and let it flow into your shoulders, down your arms to your fingers, your lungs, your heart, your spleen, your pancreas, liver, gallbladder. Breathe in and allow it to flow further down your body into your reproductive organs, urinating area, your base center, your hips. And breathe in and let it flow down your legs to your knees, to your calves, to your ankles, your feet and your toes. And allow it to flow into Mother Earth. And feel her strength and her love. Not only does she give, but she receives everything you have to let go in order to heal. She is the ultimate gift of love. So allow anything that needs to be free and flowing out and give to Mother Earth at this moment. Check your body. Any hurts, any bruises, any hidden tension. Allow it to flow on the light through your body and let it go and give it to Mother Earth. Feel the process of freedom, of healing. Stay in the stillness. Feel what it is to be freed, to heal. Be grateful. Say thank you to Mother Earth. So once again, let's flow back up your body, feeling this strength of Mother Earth and the quality of the light, the healing, relaxing, building, nurturing. As we go up through our toes and our feet and our ankles and our calves and knees, into your hips and pelvis, and go up your spine vertebrae by vertebrae, and filling all the organs in front of it with this peace and healing and relaxation. And allow the spine to have the light flow upwards to your neck and your shoulders and arms and fingers and your lungs and heart. Allow it to flow into your head, relaxing all the muscles, all the tension. And allow it to flow out from your head into heaven, to your soul. And feel the angels that are guarding you at all times. And the masters of wisdom touching you with the wisdom of being human. And then there's the divine light that's there all the time, filling you, protecting. Now you must come back down through the layers of spirit, back into your body, and return to your heart center. And create a little diamond crystal there where you can put the light of this peace and the love of this peace and the stillness. It is there always. Place your hands upon your heart and know that the love is there always. You are the love. You are the peace. You are you. And be still for a while. So in your own time, come back into your room, back to the stream, and when you're ready, open up your eyes. Well, I don't know if you live in my area, but in July I am giving 3-hour workshops here in my garden, in my under my studio gazebo, and I am going to put up the image. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Yvonne. And it's called Playing with Color. And I only have places for 6 people on each date. There are 3 weekends on Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning, I think it is. But you can check it out. Here is the information. And I am posting it on my Facebook so that if it might be easier for you to check out more information about it by going there. But I want to, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a few experiences with color that Cecil Collins, my teacher, put us through, and I bought the paints yesterday, and we've got paper, and it's a surprise. I can't tell you about what the journey will be because there's several ones, and I have to feel the people that come and see what I will be, what journey I'll take you on. It will include some meditation, maybe some movement, but definitely color and maybe water. Yeah, and it seems that my eyes are okay, well enough. The main thing about this experience is I lost such stamina. It took so much energy to deal with what it was before. Goodness, at least my energy's coming back, and it's thank goodness. I thank goodness and thank God every day that I will look forward to when I can actually drive. Otherwise, I have to have my children come and get me when they're not working, or I just have to be with myself. Me, myself, and I. It sounds like a song. Anyway, unless you guys have something more to say, I thank you, Laurie. I really appreciated it, and Angela, and everyone. It was quite an experience. I didn't know. It's the other thing is Matthew and his lovely lady has got COVID, and she's apparently over it, and he's still working on it, hence why he wasn't doing his live streams last Sunday. But I spoke to him today, and he's getting there. It's just, like flu types things. He's getting a bit bored, but he's been growing a lot of veg out on his terrace, and it's really amazing. He's so good at it, even on a terrace in pots. He gave me some advice for my basil plants, which he's a specialist in, I have to say. It's turning out like that. So what I'm going to say, good evening, because I need to conserve my energy, and I'm so happy to be here, and I want to continue being here each week. So if you're interested and can come, do book it soon, and it's on my all of my pages, Facebook pages, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So the link is there. And if you need to book a B&B, let me know if you're coming. So you're most welcome, everyone. Burpee, thank you. Angela, all of you. It's nice to have a community. See you next time. Night, night. Jenny, you do not have to be arty at all. You just have to be here. Be a being. Bring yourself. Thank you, Stefan. I will oh, my robin. It's amazing, to have light at this time of night. The doves and the robin and the other blackbirds and oh goodness. It'll be a special workshop amongst the eucalyptus and all my sculptures and you. I hope to see you all there. If not, I love you and have a really lovely week. Okay?